Let's make a game. Oi, let's make a game! So the title of this video, in technical terms, is known as the life cycle of a game. If you're wondering how games are made, you've come to the right place. It all begins with paperwork, like most things. This paperwork is called a product design document, which contains all the details and the nitty-gritty of your game. So you have to fill in information like, what's the art going to be like? What's the objective of the game? Is there any story? What are the features? What are some of the things that your character can do? Right? And it also contains timelines. So you have to mention specifically what feature is going to be finished by what time. And it needs to be followed set of guidelines which helps you maintain your project or your game, right? And this happens in all the big studios as well. It's not just a thing about smaller or individual game developers. After the product design document has been filled out, the artists begin their work by creating models, and programmers begin their work by using basic 3D models and prototyping their game, prototyping their code, right? They test out all the code, and once the code is working perfectly, or not perfectly, but once the code is working properly, it's the same time when the artists have finished creating those models. So the models are then shipped inside the engine, and then the dedicated script or code is attached to the dedicated models. So for example, the player will get the code written for the player, enemies will get the code written for the enemies, you know. Next come the level designers, who set up or design levels as the title of their job suggests, right? So whenever you play a game, for example, GTA, it's a very famous game. So you're driving on the streets in a car, but then you're seeing other cars around you, and there are buildings, there are people walking by. So who puts these buildings and cars and people walking by in the level? It is the level designers. Very important job, but I guess every aspect of this entire journey is important, right? Once your levels have been designed, there is what is called lighting setup, right? So if you've played basically any game, lighting is really, really important and really, really good. So lighting artists can do that, or sometimes even level designers do that. So it really depends from people to people and studio to studio as well. Right? Once you've got that, you're starting to put your game together. And this is when you will start hearing things in the news. X studio starts working on some game. This is what you'll hear in the news. Or Y company has started development on some game, something like that. As more time passes by and more pieces of the puzzle are put together, you will start seeing images from the game. You will start seeing videos and leaked footage. Will also start flooding in your, I would say, newsroom, right? And then after some time, you will finally hear an official announcement from the studio that yes, this game is going to be announced. Then, before testing begins, they announce the trailer, right? And then in the testing, there are several types of testings. The first one is alpha testing. That means people inside the studio or inside the organization, the testers hired by the studios, test out the game for bugs. Once alpha testing is done, the developers move on to what is known as closed beta testing. This is where the developers themselves choose or approve people to test out the game, primarily from outside the organization. So these may be your extremely popular celebrities or YouTubers or streamers, right? And once your closed beta testing is done, then comes the open beta testing, where practically anyone can test out the game. Obviously, the features are limited because, they won't just give out the entire game. So these are the 3 types of testing that are involved. And I hope you now have some idea of how games are made. Obviously, there are some differences from people to people and organization to organization. Not everyone works in this exact same way, but know that the process is similar, the end results is similar. Each and every aspect of this journey is important, right from the beginning, where the product design document is filled up, all the way to artwork, level designing, programming, and even marketing, which is equally, if not more, important. Because understand this, you are making a game, but you want people to play your game. But if people don't know about the game, how will they play it, right? So that's where marketing helps you to do that, which is also why you see so many teasers and trailers and footage and some special YouTubers getting free copies of the game to show people, right? Of course, there are a few more things which go into this as well, like system designers. So what are system designers? Good question you asked. The thing is, every game has some sort of system. Okay, so the weather system, raining or snowing or what, a sunny bright day, that is a system which needs to be set up. Is it night or is it day or is it something else, afternoon maybe? That is also another system that needs to be set up and programmed. If you're making something out of this world, then you will need some custom system for your game to be set up, and that also requires some work. That's where your system designers or system programmers come in. Okay, if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. If you liked the video, hit the heart. Comment down below if you've ever made any game, or do you plan to make games, or do you just play them? If you loved this video and if you want to watch more of such stuff, you can follow my page and turn on my post notifications. Okay, thank you for watching once again. Have a good day/night.